Welcome back, everybody, to another Just Talking Ball podcast. Today, we're going to be doing our 2026 to 2027 season quarterback rankings. So, we're going to be going through all the quarterbacks who are in play to be starters right now. Obviously, there's some guys here at the bottom of the list that just don't really count, but they're on here, and I don't really think you can delete them, so they're just going to sit there at the bottom. Um, so yeah, before we get into it, please like, subscribe, share. Appreciate all the support. Super excited to be doing this for another NFL season. It's not just me. We got Ben and Joel in here again. So the whole squad's back together once again. Our last pod, we talked about our preseason expectations for the Broncos. Obviously, it's been 2 weeks now of preseason, so only one more week, and then the kind of just like bye week, and then we're finally back into the regular season of football. Um, so yeah, I guess really quick before we get into this, Joel, Ben, do you guys have any just thoughts on Broncos, um, Broncos preseason ball?
Yeah, thanks for having us on again, JTB. Been a pleasure as always. Um, Really, the only good thing to come out of the Packers game is Bo Nix is back, baby. And RJ Harvey with the touchdown catch, making us look a little foolish, questioning his snap count last pod. But yeah, they looked great. That Nix to Waddle connection is obviously really exciting to see. So looking forward to see how many snaps they get next game. Ben, what about you?
Yeah, like Joel said, thanks for having us back on. And yeah, the especially the second preseason game, they kind of just felt like they touched on everything we touched on. The Harvey thing, like you said. Even we were complaining about Alex Singleton 3 minutes into the game. So um, just want to hear back about Riley Moss. But the game I thought went pretty well. Don't really got to talk too much about it since it's preseason. But yeah, I'm ready to get into these quarterback power rankings.
Yeah, for sure. You guys really covered everything that happened, and Um, over the next 2 weeks, we'll have multiple more pods coming out. We'll be doing a 53-man roster prediction, so we'll kind of cover preseason there. We'll be doing our stats predictions, um, and then obviously week one preview against the Chiefs. So yeah, keep an eye out for all those videos. Those will be coming out um, at the earliest next week after the final preseason game, obviously. So, yeah, without further ado, let's just get right into the QB rankings. So, obviously, everybody here isn't in their correct jersey, but everybody who's in a quarterback battle right now is on this list. So, um, yeah, so I guess we'll just kind of go in order here as they're listed. Starting with Kyler Murray. Yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts on Kyler Murray?
So Kyler Murray's been interesting, I guess, going into this season. He's in a new location. He's going to have Jay Jettas to hopefully help get his career back on track, and it'll give Jay Jettas a chance to play with somebody who isn't nine. But I'm going to say that in that game manager to good when healthy sort of tier there. Um, I don't know if he's necessarily been good the past couple years for me to give him that benefit of the doubt. He has shown flashes of that in the past, but I think current Kyler Murray's probably just a solid game manager. I don't know if you agree, Ben.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say right around that area, and I know the whole thing about it being a game manager is you can just execute average enough and do what the coach wants you to do. But I think I would kind of like re-rank him into has promise for this portion of his career, just because like you said, he's going into a new system. He has Kevin O'Connell, a great head coach, Justin Jefferson, so he's got like a promising situation for him. But yeah, I think right around that game manager area and has promise area is fine.
Yeah, I do agree a lot with what you said, Ben, because I mean, Kevin O'Connell obviously revived Sam Darnold's career, really helped him out. Obviously, now Super Bowl champion. Um, couldn't do that with JJ McCarthy, but uh, McCarthy just kind of sucks, so not really his fault. Um, yeah, and they've already announced Kyler as QB1. And yeah, I think for now, game manager is probably kind of the best way to describe him. Had a really good year back in 2021, but um, yeah, but I could definitely see him probably maybe even getting up to good after this year. I don't know. Depends on how much O'Connell can cook with him and how much uh, playing kind of just with a better offense will be. Obviously, with Jetta's, Jordan Addison's still there. Um, the run game, I guess, I'm not too sure about how they'll be this year over there in Minnesota. But yeah, I think game manager, I agree with Ben, like has promise kind of. Um, just because of being with O'Connell and also, yeah, I think game manager is probably a fair spot for him. Next quarterback, we got somebody who was just holding out to get paid, Jacoby Brissett, who's taking over for Kyler Murray in Arizona now. Um, been in the league for a very long time. So, what do you guys think about Jacoby Brissett?
I'm not too high on Jacoby Brissett. I think he's fine and he'll do the job as asked. That's kind of what he does. He's kind of in that exact tier as Kyler Murray, I would say. Not really too much promise. Kind of what you get, what you see is what you get. With Jacoby Brissett, so I kind of have him in the same tier.
Yeah, I also agree. I'd put him in game manager. We saw him last year. Um, did exactly what you said, JTB, just what he was asked. Yeah, I no problems with that at all.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like the perfect example of just like a plain old game manager. Bounced around the league, been a backup lots of times in his career. Been a starter too and everything though. So yeah, I think he had a solid year last year. Did what he was asked. So uh, not really much to talk about there with Jacoby Brissett. Um, so now we got Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah, this is Ben's favorite quarterback, so I'm gonna defer to him. What do you think about Michael Penix Jr., Ben?
I think calling Michael Penix Jr. A DoorDash driver would be a compliment. I think there should be a separate tier just for him down there. But for the sake of the podcast, I'd say, unless you guys have any like disagreeing takes here, I'd say he's definitely deserving to be in that category. I am not a fan of him. Wasn't a fan of him in college. He's proven me right in the NFL. So, yeah. What do you guys got?
I mean, I agree. I would say the only reason that he even gets a consideration from me for backup is just because he's in a QB battle with Tua, so there's always a chance for him to get on the field and, and do something that doesn't involve him being jobless and being the DoorDash driver. But I wholeheartedly agree with you. I think he's at that bottom tier.
Yeah, I think there's really not much to talk about there. I mean, uh, been outplayed by Kirk Cousins multiple years now, so I think that kind of describes it all. So yeah, really not much to talk about there. And speaking of Kirk Cousins, we got most likely the Raiders QB1, but who knows how long that's gonna last? We got Kirk Cousins.
Big Kirko. A lot of game managers so far in the ranking. I think he falls into that too. I mean, he has some moments, and as we all know, Kirk Cousins has always been like one of the last few pocket passers remaining in the NFL. And I think he'll be just that for the Raiders as well, just a game manager. We'll see how Jantis is doing with his injury that he picked up today. But him with Bowers, I could see him, putting up another Kirk Cousins type of year. Nothing crazy or special, just eh.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I think Joel pretty much nailed it on the head. I don't have much to add, but I mean, JTB, what do you got?
Yeah, no, I think game manager as well. I think he probably could have been good tier earlier in his career on the Vikings and everything. But yeah, definitely right now, game manager. Really quick though, I did just have a thought. Do you guys want to like be ranking these quarterbacks within the tier or just putting them in the tier?
I'm really down for whatever. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, let's just throw him in for a second. Well, we can probably rank when we get our elites and greats right now. I think game
Yeah,
managers, they're all kind of on the same level.
Yeah.
right.
All right. So next QB. Speaking of great elite QBs, we got Lamar Jackson.
Ooh, Lamar Jackson, the polarizing figure that he is. I would say that we might be disrespecting him, not putting him in the elite tier, but I don't much care. I think that I would personally categorize him as a great QB. I mean, he's won an MVP award. He's taken the Ravens to the playoffs and been number one seed multiple times, at least once, I should say. Um, but I just don't see him as an elite QB to where he really strikes a lot of fear into opponents anymore. But I might just have my hater glasses on because they were never able to beat the evil empire of the Chiefs. I don't know, Ben. Help me out here.
No, yeah, I'm glad you said that. I was sitting here trying to contemplate if I would say, be bold enough to say he's not elite right now, but he's great. And like you said, like I don't fear Lamar like I did, 4 years ago or whatever. I mean, last year he played what? Like I know he played double digit. I think 13, 14 games, had a losing record. So I mean, I'm good putting him in great. That is a little disrespectful to say. I think he's very deserving of being called elite. But I think for right now, going into next season, I'd just keep him at great and be happy.
I mean, yeah, I think, like you all said, it's kind of uh, like disrespectful-ish, but I mean, also like you guys were saying, he hasn't done much. I mean, he's had great years lately, obviously, but Ben, like you said, didn't play much last year. Joel, like you said, um, just could never get over the hump in the playoffs there. Um, yeah, I think it's crazy to say, but I think great is honestly probably the spot for him right now. He could easily hop into elite. Um, but yeah, I fully agree with what you guys said. It's kind
Yeah,
of a
he's
risky
probably
pick.
number one in that great tier.
Oh yeah,
Bottom elite, number one in the great tier
yeah.
for sure.
All right, yeah. So we got a couple great slash elite quarterbacks here. We'll decide on that. Josh Allen next up.
Well, as long as he's not playing the Denver Broncos in the playoffs, Josh Allen is 1,000% an elite QB. We can debate, talk about a little bit later whether he's number one right now, but I think this one's pretty straightforward. This is an elite quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, last year we did talk about like, give me Josh Allen in the playoffs, but I think we just said that because we wanted Denver to start hot, not because we weren't scared of Josh Allen. So I'm 100% with you, Joel. I think he's in the elite category, and we can debate if he is one. I think that'd be a good conversation.
Yeah, yeah. I think uh, Josh Allen elite probably in the conversation. I could see a conversation though. Honestly, like we ranked Lamar lower. Um, Part of that due to playoff success. Josh Allen's kind of in the same boat with him. I think he's definitely, like you guys were saying, though, he's definitely kind of like more feared right now and everything. So I think, yeah, elite's definitely where Josh Allen belongs. And then another QB here, Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, this one's a tough one. I mean, he was an elite quarterback, and I think a lot of discourse online continues to have him as the top one or two just off of his playoff run that he had when they went to the Super Bowl. And obviously, some moments like 2 years ago, I believe, when they just got red hot with that Bengals offense and he was diamond and dealing. I would put him probably lower tier of elite, still elite. I'm not comfortable putting him at great, but probably bottom tier elite for Burrow here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I wish there was like a elite when healthy category
Yeah.
because like the only thing holding me back right now for Joe Burrow is the fact that he has been getting injured quite a bit. But yeah, I mean I'm still in the same boat where I think he's elite. I just he is more polarizing like you said, but yeah, what about you, JTB?
Yeah, no, I mean, he definitely hasn't had a very great supporting cast besides his wide receivers lately. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, but also, like you guys said, injury wise, just hasn't been very available. And then when he has been playing, especially lately, it's still been elite, but definitely not that top tier stuff we saw on the Super Bowl run and everything. Um, so somebody who has um, opinions from people on both sides of the spectrum, being DoorDash driver or elite, we have Shedeur Sanders.
Well, my scale doesn't run that high or low. I mean, obviously, being a Colorado guy, I held him in a little bit of a higher regard than some. But being realistic, I mean, he's a young quarterback. He definitely looked like a rookie last year. He showed some flashes that I think were good, and he has potential if he really wants to be there. I don't think he'll ever be an elite quarterback. His peak might be a game manager. I would say has promise backup is where I would rank Shador Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say backup, so I'm glad you're in that same range as me. And there is promise there. I guess I think I've seen enough to where I can just say I think he just always is going to be like a career backup. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not a Colorado guy in terms of college football. But what about you, JTB?
Yeah, yeah, I'm saying backup. Um, not too sure about has promise. I guess I'm caught more between backup and DoorDash driver, but um, yeah, we can definitely do backup for now. Only his second year. And like Joel said, he did show some promise last year. So next we got QB is just gonna be interesting. Um,
No, I'll just go ahead and start.
okay.
All right, I think Bryce Young we put not in the great category, but in the good category. I don't think he'd be in the same one as Lamar. Um, but I mean, let's not act like Bryce Young is like a bad quarterback now. I mean, he just went toe to toe with the MVP in the playoffs. Um, I don't know how we can sit there and act like he outperformed him in the regular season too and beat him. So Bryce Young, I feel like is somebody who is like Joel said, polarizing, and there's going to be people with very very different opinions on. But as somebody who's watched, I don't know, 30 of the last like 34 Panthers games, I'd probably put him in. I don't think he's a game manager, so I don't want to put it there. I'm going to put it above that into good, but not great. And I know you guys are going to agree, so we could just skip and go to the next one if you want to.
Man, I hear what you're saying, man. I mean, I'll give you that he is a good quarterback. In the sense of he just is. Bryce Young had a lot of doubts coming in because he's a shorter guy. As all short quarterbacks do. But like you said, he did go toe to toe with the MVP in the playoffs last year, and he did it in the regular season as well. My thing with Bryce Young that separates him from good and great is sometimes the consistency in that. Like you'll have games where he goes toe to toe with Matthew Stafford, and then he'll have games where he's in dog fights with Michael Penix and whoever's starting for the Falcons or the Saints at any given moment. But I'll give him good. He's a good QB.
I think that's a fair spot.
Yeah, we can put him in good. I personally would put him at
I
game
don't. It's
manager at the
okay,
max,
JTB. We
but
got it.
I'll put him in
No, I
good
I know you agree.
because of
Yep.
y'all. So, um,
I do think it is good. Like I think that good ranking is solid because of the consistency issues. I just don't personally. Maybe it's bias. I don't see him as a game manager. So
Yeah, he's
yeah,
got a little bit more of that special something than some of those guys in the game manager stuff. I mean, Kyler Murray used to have it, but
yeah, yeah. There's
Bryce
no way we're
got a
ranking
little
Bryce
something
Young
there.
in the same category as Kirk Cousins. So
I
Yeah,
think
of course.
he should probably be on a tier like in between the two, but we would just run out of space doing that probably. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I agree.
I don't know. I think yeah. Okay. Now we got another 2024 quarterback. That was a very infamous class. So Caleb Williams.
The Iceman, he's kind of the same in terms of that as well. I mean, we can even talk again, measuring him with Matthew Stafford. He made that insane throw against the Rams in the divisional last year. Then he followed it up with BLT on Italian bread right after that in overtime. But I think he's in a good category as well. Like you said, JTB, that 2024 class, I think most of them are going to be in good or higher. I'm not going to give him great. I think he benefits a lot from the Ben Johnson system more than his own talent. But He's still a good QB. Probably could have been a playoff or is a playoff winning QB. But we'll talk about Jordan Love later for what that's worth. But he's good for me.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I was preparing in my head what to say, and I think Joel kind of hit every single point. But yeah, I think Caleb Williams is going to be one of the best quarterbacks we'll find in this good category. But I'm in the same boat where I don't necessarily want to put him in great yet, because of like you said, the system is very friendly for Caleb, um, and we just want to see a little bit more in the big games. So yeah, I'm good with him being in this category.
Yeah, I think good is definitely the perfect spot for him right now. Obviously, like a lot of the 2024 QBs, has great potential. But then also, like Ben, you were saying, he's in a great system. Definitely is in the best situation of that 2024 class. Um, so yeah, I think good, uh, kind of the upper tier of good is probably where he's at. But yeah, for now we can put him in good. We'll figure that all the spots out later. Next up, we got Dak Prescott.
And shout out to everybody's favorite editor of One Kane here with the Dak Prescott segment of the show. Dak Prescott, I think, is good or great. I'm not sure where we can put him now. I mean, he has the benefit of having CD Lamb and George Pickens. But with Dak, the thing, if we ignore the playoffs, which is difficult to do for quarterbacks, but if we do put that aside, I mean, the dude just produces every single year. There's never really a time where Dak will have like will have more interceptions than touchdowns, or he just looks really, really bad. Last year, the Cowboys were just not a very good team because I think their defense was very, very mid. But before that matchup, we were talking about on the pod of how dangerous that offense was. Don't put him in good. I don't know if I'm comfortable putting him up there with Lamar Jackson, but he's definitely the probably the best quarterback in the good category.
Yeah, I mean, I just got done saying that Caleb would be the number one in this good category. But I'm still trying to think right now if Dak would be, the worst one in the great or the best one in the good. Um, but yeah, like you said, he produces every single year outside of injuries. But like we said about Lamar and like we said about Josh, and we'll talk about other quarterbacks as well, it's really just, the postseason rising to it, and I don't feel like he's done that. I feel like a lot of people would agree. So I'm good putting him in the good category, and yeah, I do think it would be fun afterwards to kind of like rank each individual category.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys with the good. I think he's like the Lamar Jackson of the elite or great tier. Just this time, it's the great and good tier. Um, Definitely has a lot more to show before being like put up in rankings, obviously. So next up, we got the goat himself, Bo Nix.
Yeah, I mean, enough said, right? Bo Nix,
Yeah,
I am so definitely not biased. Opinion here. Bo Nix is in the great category up there with Lamar. I mean, the fact that we're talking about Josh Allen as one of the best QBs in the league, top two for sure. And Bo Nix really in the playoffs, biggest moment, went toe to toe with him. I would even say outperformed him with far less. Lil Jordan Humphrey was out there catching touchdowns for Bo Nix there. I would put him in the great category. I mean, one ankle injury away from being in the AFC Championship that I think we can all agree, even if you're not a Broncos fan, that probably would have been ours if he was in that game. So going into this season, I'm gonna give Bo Nix great.
Yeah, no, I agree fully. And if y'all need more like explanation as to why, just listen to like any podcast we've ever put on this channel.
exactly.
Um, yeah, but like I'm just gonna say great, unapologetically. Like I don't think I have any more to add outside from what Joel said. So yeah, I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, I think great as of right now is definitely it. By the end of this year, it's 100% going to be elite in my opinion. But yeah, great, definitely where he belongs right now. And also, like Joel kind of said, he could without that ankle injury could have been in the elite tier, honestly. But um, yeah. Next up, we got Jared Goff. This is kind of an interesting one.
Jared Goff is like the face of game managers when you talk about the discourse in the NFL. But I'm fine with giving him good just because he's proven it throughout his career. I don't think he's in the same level of Kirk and um, Kyler Murray and Brissett there, but I also don't rate him as highly as maybe some people do. Um, Probably below Dak, but higher than Caleb, in my opinion. Um, I don't know. What say you, Ben? I know you're a Jared Goff guy.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going by the letter of the law, then we would have to put him in the game manager section. But like we talked about before, like there's no way we're putting him in the same one as Kirk. So, I mean, Jared Goff, what? That's two or three 4,500 yard seasons with 30 something touchdowns. Like he's good. He's in the good category, but he is a game manager at heart. So, yeah, I'm good if we put him in that good category, labeled as a game manager. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, like
100%. Yeah.
Joel was saying, with Kirk Cousins, one of the last time pocket passers. Jared Goff is also a pocket passer, um, and he's probably one of the best ones left besides like Matthew Stafford. I guess it depends on if you label Joe Burrow as a pocket passer. Um, yeah, I think good's definitely the right tier for him. You guys just nailed it with everything you said, really. Next up, another NFC uh, North quarterback. We got Jordan Love.
Yeah, I'm not too high on Jordan Love. I've always thought that he was very overrated. Um, I mean, he's a playoff winning quarterback, I guess. He did it against the Cowboys. So that's like having your first time on Figueroa Street, to be honest, for me. But I guess I can give him good.
Yeah, I mean, people like to prop up Jordan Love quite a bit, and just statistically, like he hasn't been, that great quarterback that we've always been promised about him. And with his coaching, his the the support around him, he's in a position to where he could end up being like one of those MVP candidates every year. But he has one 4,000 yard season, one 30-yard touchdown season. Like I don't have enough to see him in the great category, especially not right now. So I'd probably just put him in good and call it a day.
Yeah, I think again you guys just absolutely nailed it with him there. Yeah. So next up, this one's a really interesting one. Malik Willis.
Yeah, I mean, by letter of the law, he too was a backup. But he's looked. I mean, kind of what Ben was just talking about with Jordan Love. You inserted Malik Willis, who looked horrible in Tennessee. You put him into that Green Bay lineup, and it's like the offense didn't miss a step. So, I mean, he is a backup quarterback still. He could start for a team, in my opinion. So he's a has promise for me.
I mean, yeah, he's being paid like a starter right now, so
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, he signed a $70 million deal, and I don't even think he has seven total touchdowns. Like
yeah.
he's a one of the like interesting
Yeah, for
quarterbacks
sure.
that got paid really just off like his raw talent. And I mean, if we're gonna sit here and act like Anthony Richardson would be paid like that, like it's just, I think it's really just he got paid off potential, so we theoretically should put him in this has promise category. Um, but I'm there or backup, so whichever one y'all kind of want to like decide on. But those are mine too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I look at has promise for sure.
I agree with the has promise. I think obviously when you hear that, you probably think like rookies or second year QBs or who are backups or something, but um, Willis I think definitely falls into that tier like perfectly. Next up we got CJ Stroud.
DJ Stroud, man. Remember there was a time he was giving Caleb Williams advice. And now I don't think they're even in the same stratosphere. Honestly, it's a good thing I'm not doing this ranking on my own. I would probably have him as a DoorDash driver, to be completely honest. I mean, the dude's fall off has been crazy, but I know that's a little radical. Um, I don't know. This one might be a game manager as well. Um, in my opinion, he might be in the hash promise if you guys think he might be able to turn that around this year, but I just really have a hard time seeing it.
No, I fully agree. I mean, for being that high of a pick and really not doing anything up until this point in his career, like I'm fully there. I think what is his highest touchdown number? It's like 21 or 22. Like for somebody who was, projected to be this insanely good quarterback, and like you said, giving Caleb Williams advice, he's really not done much with that. So, and I know he's had injuries. That whole Texans team has been depleted year after year, but still, I, this is where I go back to wishing we had a spot between good and between game manager that doesn't just say good when healthy. So I'd probably throw him game manager or lower end of good.
Yeah, I think game manager's definitely it. Because I guess you could say he kind of just defined game manager. He did enough to let the Texans defense win enough to get into the playoffs. I mean, yeah, he didn't do anything special. Davis Mills came in and played for him and looked exactly the same, if not even better. Honestly, he's not on this list, but um, yeah, I think game manager is definitely fair for CJ. And Joel, like you said, I mean, it was looking like he was going to be elite tier within year three, but um, here we are. So next quarterback is Daniel Jones.
Danny Dimes is an interesting one because, I mean, if we would have done this ranking, what, like 2, 3 years ago, we might have him as backup or DoorDash driver, but he's really turned it around. Um, the Colts looked, to be a big threat until he went down. Um, so I think we have enough to give him good, maybe the very lower end of good. Um, I don't know if I see him really as game manager because when he did play, the beginning of the year, he did look to be the Daniel Jones that was coming out of college, the big arm, the mobility, and all that good stuff. But I don't know. What say you, Ben?
Yeah, I think this like is the epitome of good when healthy. Um, I mean, yeah, like you said, 2, 3 years ago, we would be debating like one of the lower tiers, but as of late, he's been well, especially last year, he was hurt, obviously. But he was looking good. So I think right now I'm comfortable with putting him good when healthy. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, he did over his final two-ish years with Minnesota, not with Minnesota, with New York. He did struggle with injuries a little, so um, not saying that's completely why he was playing so abysmal, but that could have been part of the reason. Obviously, didn't have a great team around him, but yeah, I think good when healthy is the perfect tier for Daniel Jones right now. Next up, we got Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, this is a guy who had a really solid year last year. They kind of got unlucky to face Buffalo in the playoffs, but I mean that's what happens when you finish as the 3, 4 seed that they did. I'll give Trevor Lawrence. Um, I mean, based off of last year, I could give him great status at this point. Probably on the lower end, he won't be, above Bo Nix or Lamar Jackson, but he did enough to show that he's going to be a good quarterback in this league. The guy that he kind of always has been in that kind of good range. I think he's taking the next step. He looks more comfortable in the offense, and he should only go up from here.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you. I was gonna kind of be a little disappointed if you guys didn't mention the great category at all. I think Trevor Lawrence is, approaching that area, and I'd put him there. I'd put him at the lower end of great. Had a great year, had a very close playoff game with Josh Allen. Just couldn't pull through against. I think he threw that interception final play, but I think yeah, like you said, he has been developing like you'd want to see a quarterback develop, and I'd put him in the great.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely. You've seen QBs, especially lately, I feel like come into the league and kind of dominate right away, but he's much more the traditional younger quarterback. It's taken him multiple years to develop, and last year he really showed a step. And we talk about with Bo, his supporting cast, especially on the receiving end, was not great. I'm pretty sure they have more drops than the Broncos did. They probably took more deep shots than the Broncos did because it was a Sean Payton offense and take a lot of checkdowns there, lots of screen plays, so that could have played into it. But yeah, I think he definitely suffered a little bit from team not being as good. I think yeah, great category is definitely where he deserves to be. Not really an argument to be higher, but not an argument to be lower. So yeah. Next up, we got is he washed? Who knows? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that was going to be my opening line. Is Patrick Mahomes below elite now? I mean, last year he had just really, like you said, JTB, a washed season or a washed looking season. Um, he's coming on. He's gonna be coming off a big injury. We'll see if he's even the same quarterback. That's something that's genuinely a thing to keep an eye on as the season progresses. But he is Patrick Mahomes, and for that alone, I think he has to be in the elite category until he proves us otherwise for a second year. I think the Chiefs had a lot of struggles um, just with their receiving core and O line and everything like that. So I'll chalk it up to that for now. But he is Patrick Mahomes. So Ben, unless you have some disagreement there.
No, I do think that he should be in that elite category just because the name value, not necessarily how he played last year. Um, and I don't know, like we didn't really ever specify if we're doing this just based off 2025 or kind of like just the last recent few years. Um, but yeah, I'd be comfortable putting him in elite, and this kind of brings up a good conversation we could eventually talk about. But I think he is definitely under a lot of pressure this season to perform because he could easily go from being in that mid-range elite category all the way down to bottom tier of great. So for right now, I'm comfortable putting him in elite, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say basically what you said there, Ben. I think this year, elite still. Like Joel said, I mean, he's had one of, if not the best starts to a career of any quarterback, really. I mean, I know he's our division rival, and I'll hate to say all that, but it's true, sadly. But yeah, I think definitely elite. But if he puts up another year like he did last year, I think conversations are definitely to be had about great or maybe even good, because I guess he kind of performed like a good QB last year. But yeah, this year elite. Um, but definitely something to kind of keep an eye on here. Next up, we got Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Well, if Justin Herbert was an elite QB, he would be in the elite category. But
What was that word you said?
unfortunately, unfortunately, he is not. So I would. He's a division rival. Same thing, and that's not the only reason I don't give him that elite status. But he's not. I think he's in that great category. I don't think that he is in the upper echelon of NFL QBs. I mean, some people like Dan Orlovsky might pick him as top two up there with Josh Allen, but I think if you're starting a franchise from scratch and you could pick from any quarterback that you want, I don't think Justin Herbert would be in those first five picks, in my opinion. So I'd give him great. But maybe if he has a great season and stays healthy, then he can be in that elite category next year.
Yeah, it's really just that two-letter word. Um, if my grandma had balls, she'd be my grandpa. Shout out Max Verstappen. But I do think he would be in that great category. I just there's no possible way I'd ever put him in elite right now, especially with how he performs in the postseason. Um, and honestly, like it, just because of that, just the embarrassments we've seen from him in the postseason, I would say he's towards that lower end of great. I guess we'll have to see who else joins this category because we've got quite a few guys remaining. But I've never seen more of a playoff like dropper than Justin Herbert. So I will say he is a regular season merchant. He's a pretty solid, pretty really good quarterback for those 17 games. But that 18th game, he just turns into Michael Penix Jr.'s brother. So yeah, what about you, JTB?
Yeah, no, I mean, um, I love the Max quote, Ben. I don't mean to correct you, but it's if my mom had balls, she'd be my dad. But it
Same thing.
works.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
it works. Um, yeah, I think you guys nailed it. He's a great QB during the regular season. But then playoffs come around, and yeah, he's just something else. I mean, only if only if he was good in the playoffs, maybe he'd be higher. But yeah, I think great tier, definitely where he needs to be right now. So yeah, next up we got a QB who just hasn't been aging at all lately. Matthew Stafford.
Reigning MVP, Matthew Stafford. Yeah, this one we don't need to talk about too much. I think we can all agree that he is an elite quarterback and will probably continue to be, barring any injury or anything like that.
Yeah, just go ahead and throw him up there. I have no complaints about that. He's obviously one of the top two, three guys in the league. So yeah, elite for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's literally nothing else to say. He's just an elite QB, been around for a long time. Um, I mean, yeah, well, like you guys said, there's nothing to say. Elite quarterback. Um, next up, we got Geno. Wow, we have some interesting QBs. The next two here. Geno Smith.
Yeah, he
Yeah, I
didn't
mean,
write back.
Joel, if you don't mind, I'll
Go
jump to it
ahead.
right quick. But I think
Go ahead.
looking at a lot of those faces down there that we have to rank, we could steamroll through this. But Geno Smith, he's nowhere near. I mean, I guess you could make an argument saying he's a game manager. I don't see that. I think from here on out, he'll just be a backup. Obviously, he's starting in New York, but I think JTB will start in New York if he got the opportunity. So I'm down to put him in game manager. I think he would be delivering my Wingstop tomorrow on Uber Eats. So really, wherever you guys want to decide, like I'm good for whatever.
Yeah, I'm not down for game manager to be honest. I don't think he deserves to be in that category. Even with the work that he did in in Vegas is just god awful. I mean, you thought it couldn't get worse when they were running Jimmy G and Aiden O'Connell, but I mean, man, it was like there was no upgrade made when they signed him. So I don't even want to give him game manager. He is going to be starting for the New York Jets, but like you said, who wouldn't be at this point? Um, so I'm fine putting him in backup or DoorDash driver.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is a good. Well, I don't even know about that. On a good team, he is a good backup. Yeah, obviously, completely abysmal. He can't raise the ceiling of any team at all. But if you put him like on a great team like Rams or, um, I mean, if he ended up somehow on the Broncos, he would maybe be just like a solid, good backup. I don't, I don't know. There's not really much else to say with him. He's just kind of a backup quarterback that's been a starter for the past couple of years, kind of for no reason. So, um, yeah. I think we're all gonna agree on where to put this man, but we got
Just go
two
ahead and do
next
it,
up.
bro. Just
Okay,
go ahead
I'll,
and do
I'll
it.
just do it. We don't even need to talk about it, do we?
Yeah, I'm not
uh,
analyzing the dude who's delivering my McDonald's. There's no
yeah,
possible
no.
chance.
I don't know if I'd trust
Unless
him to
Joel
deliver
wants
my
to put him in elite,
McDonald's.
I guess we really just have to ask him.
No, definitely not. As somebody who flew across the entire country to watch him put up 70 on my team, this feels good. Yes, DoorDash driver, maybe not even DoorDash, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I mean, would you
maybe not
trust
even
him to
DoorDash,
get
maybe
the right
Domino's
order
or
and bring
Pizza
it to
Hut.
you? Like, yeah,
No, he'd probably deliver it to the wrong address.
yeah.
Seems to be what he would do.
Um, if you guys need any reasoning, just watch the preseason games he's played in, and you'll see all the reason in the world. Um, 20, I think the last of the 2024 QBs. No, not the last. Drake May.
Drake May. Um, Ben, you wanna lead this one off?
Yeah, I mean, it's we go back to the same word, polarizing. I After last season, I mean, you could make the case that he's already jumped into that elite category. And honestly, like I wouldn't hate it, but then again, you can always talk about schedule. You can always talk about system. But I mean, I don't want to be biased and say that like obviously Bo. I don't want to say Bo's better than Drake May. I don't want to say things that can be listed as controversial. So I'll just like put him at the lower end of elite or among that like top one or two guys in great. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think Drake May is one of those top five or six guys. I'd say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we see that one a little bit differently. After the performance he put up in the Super Bowl, I know that it was against Seattle, one of the best defenses in the league, Mike McDonald and all that. But he put up kind of the same performance that Bo Nix did in his first ever regular season game against that team. And I think if we're gonna give him elite, even if it's lower end, you got to do a little bit better than what he did against them, against the Broncos too. He does end up winning the game thanks to his kicker being able to kick better in a snow globe than Will Lutz was. He also didn't put up a great performance against them. Houston was not a great game either. I think the Chargers was his best game in the late season. So I'll give him great because, regardless of schedule, you got to play who's in front of you. And he
Yeah.
was an MVP candidate regardless. So, there's other players who have benefit of the schedule that don't do that. So I'm good giving him great, but I don't know if I can give him elite.
Yeah, he's right
A to
there,
B.
like debating between like above or below Lamar. It's like I'm fine, elite, I'm fine, great, but I think he's right in between that line.
Yeah, I mean
You're
it's
the decider, host.
yeah, nah, it's definitely great. Um, I don't quite see the elite conversation, just because the playoffs were. I mean, again, I know they're the playoffs. You're playing the best of the best teams, but I mean, every one of his playoff games were absolutely brutal. Um, and obviously they made it to the Super Bowl. I think he had a very solid supporting cast. Probably a little bit of an underrated supporting cast on offense. But yeah, I think great is definitely where he belongs. I mean, all the talks about schedule and everything, I guess we'll find that out this year. Obviously, he'll have a first place schedule and everything. But yeah, no, I don't think you can really argue for him to be worse than great. People might argue to put him in elite, but rookie year wasn't anything fantastic. Playoffs weren't the best. He just doesn't have anything any of the elite quarterbacks has right now. Um, so yeah, next up, um, we got Tyler Shuck or Shu.
The NFC South QB. He's a has promise for me. And I don't think he's below game manager, but I do think that he does show a lot of promise. He played really good in the latter half of the season for the Saints. There, I think that has that city excited. Um, and he didn't look too bad, so I'll give him a has promise.
Yep, I'm right there with you. I think he's from what we've seen, like we haven't seen a lot of Tyler Shuck, but I would definitely put him in this category. I think he's, the epitome of what we're looking for here. Um, and yeah, if I was a Saints fan, I'd have some optimism because the way he played, he looks like he could be their quarterback for, the next X amount of years. So I think, this category is fine for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think um, Tyler Shu is my Bryce Young. Um, I'm really high on him.
All right.
I mean, hey, um, he swept the Panthers last year. So I mean, there's a conversation that he's better than Bryce. I don't know. But yeah, no, we can put him in has promise.
Ooh.
He was a rookie last year. I'm really excited to see
Sound like
that.
a
I think
Chargers fan there.
okay. I think the Saints had a good off season. Um, he had a good rookie year, so yeah, I'm excited to see what he can do um in year two there. Next up, we have another rookie quarterback going into his second year, Jackson Dart.
And I'm really torn on this one. Jackson Dart, obviously, I was in attendance there when they played against our Broncos, and he looked really good. I mean, really promising. But I'm just torn between good when healthy and has promise. He does spend a lot of time in the blue tent. He even had to gripe about it a little bit in their last preseason game. That it seems like every time he gets hit, he's taken back there now. I don't know if we have enough data to give him a good when healthy, but he definitely has a lot of promise to be, one of those next best in the next generation of QBs.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm a little indifferent on Jackson Dart. Like you said, he is always finding himself with head injuries or, the league thinks he has those. But I mean, I think I'd also put him in has promise. Obviously, we can't do game manager, we can't do good when healthy. I can't put him in that good category yet. Um, and obviously he's not backup worthy. So I think right in that middle area has promise would be good.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with you guys. I am. I mean, like Joel said, he was asking why he always gets sent back to the medical tent, um, after he was laying on the ground for like 30 seconds after being hit in that preseason game. So, um, yeah, a little concerned about his health if he keeps playing behind this Giants O line. But yeah, he has promise. When he played, he was good. He had some obviously rookie moments. So again, he's a second year QB who didn't do anything sensational. So I think has promise is kind of the perfect um, spot for him. Next up, we have Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. It's gonna be his first year without AJ Brown. We'll see how that goes for him. Um, this is a guy that I think a lot of people would put in game manager if you ask this question on Twitter right now. I think that Jalen Hurts is is right in that good category. I mean, he's done a lot for the Eagles, and he continues to, take them into good things. A lot of that's the O line. Last year, a lot of that is due to Saquon Barkley because he spent too much time beefing with his wide receiver one and dropping motivational quotes than playing ball here. But I've always been high on Jalen Hurts. Been a Jalen Hurts fan since the days at Bama. But I think I would give him good here.
Yeah, I think going back to the conversation about Jared Goff, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be in the good category, but he is literally a game manager to a T. And that's not a bad thing. I think a lot of people say game managing is bad for quarterbacks. Like for Kirk Cousins right now, that may be a thing, but for Jalen Hurts, he's doing it really well to the point where, they won a Super Bowl. So I think he is in the good category, but he's also a good game manager, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he is like a game manager, but he has the ability, albeit not it's not shown super duper often, but he can kind of carry a offense, and I don't know, he just has that he can unlock a little bit more than just a normal game manager, I think. Um, if we were doing this tier list differently, I guess we could put him in game manager, but he's not in the same tier as any of the QBs we have at game manager. So, yeah, I think good's definitely the perfect spot for him. Next up, we got somebody who might just like never stop playing. It seems like, but he's actually retiring after this year. So, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, start queuing up the
This will be
washed
an interesting
music.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
um, Aaron Rodgers. He kind of balances over there between good and great. I think that the situation there in Pittsburgh is kind of what's going to hold him back from still being a great QB in this league. I think he's good, probably up there with Dak and Caleb Bryce. I don't see him in the Herbert, Bo, Lamar conversation anymore. It's one of the guys I really enjoyed, one of my favorite QBs growing up, but sad to say he is way past those days now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine putting him in good, but for his retirement tour, like I could also see him being in that game manager role because we all know he's just going to go in there and run the offense. He's not going to put like the ball in his hands and run the ball. He's literally going out there to manage the game. But I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. I think it'd be a disservice to him and football in general to put him in that category. So I'm fine putting him in good. I think he could have success this year. It really just all depends on that scheme. But yeah, new offense, so exciting.
yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure about the great conversation, Joel. I know you're not saying he is in the great tier, but I don't know if that's even a conversation, really. I was kind of even thinking this is really weird, but like he's almost like in that has promise role almost. Like he has that. Obviously, he's been MVP, Super Bowl champion. Like he has that. Who knows if he has any of that in the tank still, but it might be there. Or he's just kind of like a game manager, like Ben said. So, um, yeah, I think he's just um, he's a historically good quarterback who's past his prime but still playing. Um, I think yeah, game manager is kind of the perfect fit for him. Next up, we have Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champion.
Well, if we listen to the NFL Top 100 list, this guy is, put him above Josh Allen at this point. Um, I'll give Sam Darnold this that he did play good last year He made all the right decisions. He did win his team a Super Bowl, albeit I would give more credit to the defense than him, but that's neither here nor there. Um, I'm good to give Darnold good. I still don't think he's a world beater as far as being in the great and elite category. Honestly, thought that was ridiculous that they had him as where they had him top 20 players in the whole NFL. But what say you, Ben? I know I'm a little bit of a hater.
All right, so I'll take over
Um,
for. Oh, my
no,
bad.
sorry, my mic was actually muted. Yeah, I think Sam Darnold would be in this good category. And like all these quarterbacks, really, I think they're gonna, perform the offense and go out there and do it well. I just don't know if they're gonna be, week in and week out reasons you're winning games. And yeah, he did win the Super Bowl, like Joel said, and the NFL Top 100 rated him so high. But I'm perfectly fine putting him in this good category because when I look at the Seahawks team, the last person I'm worried about, of taking over the game, is Sam Darnold. So I think good, suits him pretty well.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn, honestly, on like the lowest tier of great. I don't know. It's just weird seeing him in the same tier after winning the Super Bowl as. Um, I mean, I guess we have Jalen Hurts there too, though. So, um, yeah, I can see top of the good category. Um, yeah, yeah. I think I don't know. In my opinion, if he has another year similar to what he did last year, I think he could be put in the great category. Um, but yeah, no, he obviously has a great team around him. So yeah, I could definitely see good. Next up we got Brock Purdy.
I am high on Brock Purdy, just because of what he's done so far in just a short amount of time. I mean, a lot of people forget that he was kind of the 49ers' third string quarterback when he took over the job. And he completely outplayed Tom Brady, albeit in his twilight years there. He's been to a Super Bowl. He wasn't healthy last season. He was really in and out with it. In his first big game, the NFC Championship, he got hurt. So that's what kind of leads me to be good when healthy. But I still don't have him as a great QB. The Kyle Shanahan offense, I think anybody can be a good or great QB. Just look at Jimmy Garoppolo. So I think I'd have him at good. What say you, Ben?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up good when healthy because I was thinking that. Obviously he's a solid quarterback. He is also one of those guys who is a game manager, but also shouldn't be in that category. Like he deserves to be in the good. But it does become that question of, is he hurt enough to where we can put him in good when healthy? I don't know. But I'm fine either way if we put him good when healthy or just plain out good.
Yeah, I mean, um, yeah, I don't really know with this one. I'm in the same boat as you guys between good or good when healthy. Just yeah, it's I don't really know which one. I guess we can just put him in good when healthy because he has been hurt semi frequently. So if you guys are fine with that, I guess we can just put him there.
Yeah, let's give Danny Dimes some company in that category. It's been all alone the whole whole episode.
All right, next up we got Baker Mayfield.
Baker. Well, let's ask our NFC South connoisseur first. Let me see what Ben thinks.
Okay, I don't really know how I earned that title here. Um, Baker Mayfield's like a I don't. It's he's an interesting guy because I feel like one year he's great, and I'm like debating on putting him in the great category, and then the next year he's just good. The year after that he's maybe in DoorDash driver section. It also really is just like a game by game thing, kind of like we talked about with Bryce, how we want to see it more like every game, just the consistency. Um, so like with Baker, I think I'm fine putting him in like the middle of the good category. I don't think he's done enough to be in the I don't think I could put him in the great. Um, I don't. What do you guys think? I mean, you guys can talk to me, kind of like convince me one way or the other, but I think I'd put him in good.
Yeah, he's super. there's times where I want to put him in great. He's had moments and times where he's looked at. Remember when he took over there in Tampa for Brady? It was like, oh, this is a super team. Like they picked a gunslinger. They're going to go back to back. They're going to win. No, not back to back, but they're going to be back to their winning ways as far as being contenders. And they're still in that dogfight of the South every single year. When it looks like they're doing good, he has like a string of bad games that brings them right back to 500 or below. So I would say good for Baker. Me personally, just based off of that alone. I mean, you can even point to when they played the Patriots, they were, on fire. It looked like the Bucks were going to be their first real challenge, and Baker really didn't rise up to the moment. So, JTB, what did you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you guys. Throughout his whole career in uh, Tampa, he spent a year in Carolina, um, and bounced around to the Rams then too, and then he found success in Tampa Bay. That first year, I wasn't very convinced that he was really a good QB. I was kind of thinking it was just more of a fluke, but then he did amazing the next year as well. So I was like, okay, yeah, this guy, he's a great QB now. And then when I finally start believing in him, he kind of crashes back down to earth this past season. So yeah, I think good QB, streaky like you guys were saying, just week to week. Yeah, I think good is just kind of the perfect ish category for Baker Mayfield. Next up, we have another second round QB, Cam Ward.
Whoops. Yeah, Cam Ward. We talked about it a little bit, off camera and in our group chat earlier with him. Um, I mean, he was a guy who talked a lot of game coming out. He's kind of Shador Sanders if Shador Sanders was was really about his game and not really his status. But even then, he hasn't really lived up to it. Um, When we saw him last year, he played decent. He missed a couple of open reads. His receivers kind of didn't help him out either. I'm not sure where to put him as far as game manager has promise, but I'm leaning more towards has promise. I think we need to see a little bit more of what he can do now with a more stable regime there in Tennessee.
Yeah, I would probably put Cam Ward has promise. I don't know where else he would be more fitting. Um, and yeah, we did drop a little bit of a hot take on outside of the pod. I'm just not the biggest fan of like his mechanics right now. I think he's got quite a bit of work to do before he even becomes, part of that good conversation. Um, but yeah, I think the only category that would fit right here would be has promise.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. I wasn't too high on him coming out of last year, and then he kind of balled out against us week one. So I was like, okay, maybe he is legit, but turns out that our defense just kind of made any QB look good from week to week, kind of. So, um, yeah, I think has promise. Second year QB, we have all the second year QBs there besides Shadur. So yeah, I think that's perfectly fair. Next up, we got the final QB of the 2024 class this time, Jaden Daniels.
And Ben, I know you're chomping at the bit here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we can go ahead and put him in the category that literally says Jaden Daniels on it. Um, I think his whole career, we're going to be talking about if he's healthy or not. But we'll always point to seasons where he is healthy, obviously, because that first year, they did make the NFC Championship game. He had a great year, won Rookie of the Year. So it was really just disappointing whenever we did see him go down last year. Um, but yeah, his frame is always that's always gonna be a conversation just because of how small he is as a quarterback. Um, and I wish there was a great one healthy because he definitely deserves to be on that same tier as a Bo Nix, Drake May, Justin Herbert, whatnot. But it is just the fact that he's been hurt. I mean, I'd be down to put him at the lower end of great, but it is only that one season we saw. But I'm also really comfortable putting him in the good one healthy category. Really, just up to you guys.
Yeah, he's got to be a good one healthy. I mean, he did do really good as a rookie, and I guess deservedly won Rookie of the Year that year. Depends really who you ask. Um, but he definitely balled out. We can't ignore that. But I think that you have to see a little bit more to put him in great. I think just based off that 1 year alone, we could say great. But I would love to see a little bit more from him, and how he's going to bounce back from those injuries. So he is a good quarterback, but of course he needs to be out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think good when healthy's uh, the best spot for him. I can see the argument for great, but even when he played last year, which granted he was injured a lot, so he has that whole factor going into it, but he didn't have any amazing games last year besides kind of against the Bears. It was a loss, but uh, dropped 3 touchdowns passing wise, which was his season high. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't show anything to me to kind of keep him in great last year. I think Goodwin Healthy's the perfect spot for him right now, just because I mean he could not stay healthy whatsoever last year. So yeah, next up is kind of not really gonna be that interesting. Probably we have rookie QB Fernando Mendoza, #1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, technically, right now he's a backup, right? I don't think they've ever named one yet. Um, but obviously, he'd have to just be in the has promise category. Rookie, first round pick. Obviously, those come with a lot of hype and what they could be eventually, especially at the quarterback position. So right now, I'd be fine putting him at has promise. I'm not going to be one of those guys that put a guy who's never taken a snap in good or great, like we've seen with a lot of these analysts. So yeah, I'm good with has promise.
Yeah, same as well. And we can't, even though he will start as a backup, he is a rookie. And the Raiders, I think, are kind of, they paid Kirk Cousins a lot of money not to come ride the bench. So he has promise. We'll see what happens. It's a division rival, so hopefully it doesn't go well. But just looking at it unbiasedly, he does have promise, and we'll see about when he gets game time, if at all, this year.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. Rookie. Um, and it's not like he was drafted super low or had a bad year in college, really, so you can't put him any lower. Um, yeah, just he has promise. We got rest of the QBs. Unless if you guys see one you want to rank, I guess I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah, let me
Drew.
just go ahead and shoot him off. JJ McCarthy is my DoorDash driver.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
Russell Wilson retired, but we can put him in DoorDash driver.
okay, yeah.
Justin Fields, I'd put backup because I actually would not mind him as a backup, unless you guys disagree with that. I think he's a solid backup. Um, I think he's a fun backup. Maybe not solid. I think he's more of that. I don't know, the Taysom Hill role where you bring him in for a few plays.
Uh,
Um,
no, I
It
yeah.
would
don't
be
know about
really
that one
sweet
there.
if he played quarterback for the Chiefs, man.
No, yeah. If he was a full time quarterback, like if he came in for Jarrett Stidham, I would still not have like Jarrett
Yeah,
Stidham did. I would still not have hope. But I think for the Taysom Hill role where he's in there with Bo Nix, that would be fun. Um, any of the other guys I don't really care about. Anthony Richardson has promised maybe.
no, no.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
good.
don't think
I'm good
so.
just skipping everybody.
Yeah, no, I
Dude's
think
worth a bag of chips right now, so
I don't know. I think Justin Fields is DoorDash driver. He
could
just
be.
brings
Yeah,
no value passing wise.
Yeah.
he did play on a JV squad last year, so
Yeah, but even then, I don't.
yeah, I'm fine with whatever.
Yeah,
As long as we have Russell Wilson and DoorDash driver.
yeah, Joel, you're the tiebreaker for Justin Fields.
No, yeah, DoorDash driver
Okay.
for
Ah,
sure
okay.
for Justin Fields.
Yeah.
It's just I keep going back to when we played them in London, and it looked like he was going to lead a drive, and then
That game was
as
so
Joseph
awful. Don't
said,
even bring it up.
as Joseph said, just rush the house. He won't be able to throw against the blitz, and he was right. So, yeah, Marcus Mariota. Can we have a category here? Elite against Denver.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Elite against, yeah. I mean, we could put Joe Flacco in elite too. I mean,
Yeah, just ask John Elway.
yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess
I
Mac
think this is good.
Jones could put him back up too. Um, yeah. So, do you guys kind of just want to go tier by tier here and just iron out the final details?
Yeah. Do you guys want to start like at the worst, or start best of the best
I mean,
of the
DoorDash
elite?
driver, I don't really care how we have that ranked. They just all suck.
I don't really care until we get to, I guess, game manager.
Yeah, I guess we can start editing it there. I mean,
Okay. Unless you guys have any like thought here, I think CJ Stroud's probably the best of those game managers.
Yep.
Maybe
CJ Stroud number
maybe
one.
Rogers, but I'd put CJ Stroud over him.
yeah. I would put. Would you put Kirk over Jacoby?
No, no, I would not.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's fine how it is.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
may
right there is good. Hmm.
no, yeah, that's good. Good when healthy. I'd
I think.
put Jaden number one.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think honestly I'd throw Brock over Daniel, but that's
Yeah,
more
I
like
put
a
Birdie too
coin
as
toss.
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
That's okay.
I think Brock's
Um.
just more consistent.
Yeah. Okay. So then, good.
All right, in this category, I think the top three I would say are Caleb, Dak, and then that third spot. Are y'all thinking like Jordan Love, Goff, or Darnold? One of those three.
Um,
It's an interesting one because I mean, like, I know it's a team sport and everything, and quarterbacks can be carried, but Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold, they did win Super Bowls. Um,
I,
like,
I don't. I just don't know if I'll ever consider Jalen Hurts. I don't think. I think he's right around that 10 to 12 range. I just don't think he can lead this category, honestly.
yeah, I'm not saying
yeah,
lead the
no, no, definitely
category,
not.
just
Oh, okay,
not
okay.
not bottom bottom.
No, the top two
Yeah,
are good. So like, yeah, Caleb, then Dak for sure. One,
Caleb,
two,
Dak.
I'm fine
three.
doing. I'm fine doing a fuck, man. Jordan Love. Oh, crap, man. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold. But then again, Sam Darnold just won the Super Bowl, so it's that same conversation.
Yeah.
So we could just do Darnold, Hurts, Love.
Darnold, Hurts. Wait, for the
Or would you
final
guys
ones or
put?
behind? Oh yeah, no, I got you.
Would you guys put Goff over Jared or Jordan Love? No way, right? I guess
This,
maybe he's managing that offense really well.
Yeah.
He's producing really well. I just think Jordan Love has the ability to become, one of those guys. So
The final four
uh,
guys, I
I'm
mean, I
fine.
guess
I'm
this
fine with
one's
that, how that is. But Bryce, yeah, I would do that.
okay, yeah. Yeah,
I'm not gonna be that biased.
besides Bryce, the final three guys are pretty interchangeable
yeah,
between
honestly.
Goff, Love, and Mayfield.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
Baker's.
you could
I
you
don't. I
could
don't think
put.
Baker would be in
Yeah, no,
that
I
conversation.
guess he's not in that conversation,
I
sure.
think
I agree, Baker.
Hurts, Darnold, and Goff are interchangeable, and then I think
Yeah,
Love and
yeah.
Baker are good. Yeah, I think this is good though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think this
Nice.
works, yeah.
All right,
The great tier. Do we
keep
put
Justin Herbert back there on the right.
yeah.
Keep Lamar there on the left.
I
Probably
honestly like.
swap
I
May
like
and
this how it
Bo.
is.
Or
I
sorry.
I like it.
Okay, do we put
Mm,
I maybe
Lamar in
put
elite?
Trevor over.
I don't know. I kind of feel
No,
like you don't
I
think so?
just I feel like if you have five elite guys and you need to make an elite category and put three of those guys in very, very good. Like
yeah. No,
Lamar
it's
Yeah,
good
didn't he
how
didn't
true,
deserve
true.
it
good how
last
it
year.
is.
Yeah,
I mean, the only thing I may change in this category is Trevor over Bo, but I don't love it. So I think
yeah,
we
no.
don't even have to change this.
I mean, my heart's telling me put Bo above Drake, but yeah, no, I won't.
I can't do that.
Eh, I don't know.
Even as a
It's
Broncos fan, like I feel like we'd get crucified if we did that.
After this year, yeah,
yeah.
sure,
After
but
this
Yeah,
year,
I
not
mean,
yet.
sure.
Not
Yeah.
definitely, yeah,
yet.
possible.
Okay.
Now this is gonna be interesting because I could see the conversation for, I guess, two, maybe three of these guys to be the number one.
Yeah. I think
Yep.
Mahomes, the last one.
Yes, I
Yep.
agree
We
with
all
that.
agree
That
on
one
that.
for sure. Yep.
Okay.
Been
Mahomes
like 3
4.
years since he's had 30 touchdowns in a year, so I agree with that. Now for number
Probably.
three, are y'all thinking Burrow?
It has to be Burrow because I mean, dude
Yeah,
barely plays.
Just injuries
yeah.
and like aura around him, I guess.
Said aura.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, all right, 1-2.
Yeah, honestly, like I think with the playoffs, I personally would put Stafford one, just because Josh is still even in a year where Mahomes and the Chiefs didn't make the playoffs, he still couldn't make it to the championship game. Um,
Stafford is
I
definitely a riser. I mean, he really
yeah,
like
Yeah,
by
yeah,
himself kind of kept the Rams in that game against Seattle. Like, dude was just launching
yeah,
I
missile
would put him
dime
at
after
one.
dime.
yeah. I
So
think
Joel and I
Um,
would,
and he,
JTB
I
maybe.
agree. Stafford won.
Okay.
and he
Allen.
just won MVP, so I
Yeah,
mean, we can give him that. I don't think that's too hot of a take.
yeah. No.
Yeah, I think this is solid.
Yeah, no. I like this list. I think it's very close to how my personal list would be probably.
Yeah, I'd maybe change a few. I don't know. I
Yeah,
feel like Caleb may deserve being like bottom of great, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
He was just
I think it's a
yeah.
solid list though. I don't think there's many spots that we missed. And obviously, like we ranked these categories on a whim, so we didn't really sit down and talk about it too
Oh yeah,
much.
yeah.
So if you see something that seems pretty controversial, take it with a grain of salt. We have not done too much into the ranking specifically.
And also, if you would ask me to do like my personal quarterback rankings at the end, like how this season will go, it would look different than this.
Oh yeah,
It
100%.
would
For
look very
sure, for
different.
sure.
So this is just based off of mainly last season. Well, and it's just kind of based off everybody's career, how they've done.
Right.
I think is
Yeah,
yeah,
well, I think it's good. I think this was a good pod, and I think next week's going to be an even better one. So,
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so yeah,
Upward and onward.
thank you guys so much for watching. Um, Ben, Joel, if you guys have anything left to say, I don't think you do, but
yeah, no, just thanks for having us on. It's been fun. Kind of
yeah,
getting the groove back going.
yeah,
This is what our second or third one now, and season's right around the corner. So,
yeah.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Show some love, everybody.
Yep.
And yeah, I can't wait for week one. I wish we were playing the Chiefs this Monday. Honestly,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
All right, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, keep an eye out for within this next week here, we're gonna have multiple ones dropping. And yeah, super excited for the NFL season. So can't wait to get into that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below about this list and how it turned out. So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Hope you all have a great day.